Welcome to the Conflict Zone, a channel dedicated to informing about major conflict points around the world.
In this video, we discuss the recent deployment of an additional U.S. nuclear submarine and a second nuclear aircraft carrier to the Persian Gulf, marking the largest American military presence in the region since the Iraq War.
Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay updated with all our latest news.
On Sunday, August 11th, the U.S. Department of Defense urgently announced the deployment of another nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine and a second nuclear aircraft carrier to the Persian Gulf. This latest move brings the total number of U.S. Navy warships in and around the Gulf to 25, a presence comparable to the buildup that preceded the Iraq invasion between March and May of 2003. But what exactly are the naval and aerial assets of the U.S. Navy currently stationed in the region, and how do they contribute to the overall defensive strategy? For decades, the United States has maintained a robust military presence in the Persian Gulf, particularly since the end of the Gulf War in 1991. This presence includes several air and naval bases along the Gulf shores, with 4 major bases in Kuwait, a massive naval base in Bahrain that supports U.S. air and ground operations, 2 large bases in Qatar, 1 Air Force and 1 Army base, along with Al Udeid Air Base, one of the largest in the world, hosting over 10,000 military personnel and around 120 aircraft. Additionally, there are 3 bases in the United Arab Emirates, 2 for the Navy and 1 for the Air Force. The Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, although not directly on the Gulf, plays a crucial role in the region's operations. When combined, these air, naval, and Army bases typically host around 20,000 U.S. military personnel, 10 to 15 major warships, and between 200 to 300 combat aircraft in the Gulf region. However, as mentioned earlier, this presence has significantly increased, beginning with the deployment of the nuclear aircraft carrier USS Theodore Roosevelt in July 2024, operating between the Gulf of Aden off the coast of Yemen, the Arabian Sea, and the Gulf of Oman near the Strait of Hormuz, the gateway to the Persian Gulf. More recently, a second nuclear submarine and a second nuclear aircraft carrier, the USS Abraham Lincoln, were deployed. The Abraham Lincoln, which was operating in the Pacific earlier in August, has since been speeding towards the Gulf. Regarding submarines, we rarely know exactly how many are operating in a given area. However, from time to time, the Pentagon makes it a point to announce the deployment of submarines to signal an increase in their presence, which, as we know, can be highly deterrent. The mere suspicion of a submarine's presence can dissuade adversaries from making aggressive moves. The submarine recently deployed to the Persian Gulf belongs to the Ohio class, originally developed for launching long-range nuclear ballistic missiles. Of the 18 Ohio-class submarines built, 14 are armed with 20 Trident missile tubes, each capable of carrying up to 12 nuclear warheads, with yields of up to 475 kilotons. This means a single submarine of this class can target and destroy up to 240 different locations. However, 4 Ohio-class submarines were converted for launching cruise missiles. In these submarines, the Trident missile tubes were removed and replaced with 22 tubes, each holding 7 Tomahawk cruise missiles, giving each submarine a total of 154 cruise missiles with ranges of up to 600 kilometers, depending on the version. According to the Pentagon, the nuclear submarine sent to the Gulf is an Ohio-class vessel converted for launching cruise missiles. Other sources indicate that at least one other nuclear submarine, likely a Los Angeles or Virginia-class fast attack submarine, is also operating in the Gulf, primarily tasked with tracking enemy submarines or surface vessels. According to specialized websites monitoring the deployment of warships in the Eastern Mediterranean and the Red Sea, there is also a strong naval presence, including the USS Wasp, an amphibious assault ship capable of acting as a mini-aircraft carrier, operating up to 20 F-35B fighters with vertical and short takeoff and landing capabilities. With these ships and submarines, the U.S. missile force, both offensive and defensive, has grown to thousands of units. This massive U.S. naval presence in and around the Persian Gulf is comparable to the forces involved in the 2003 Iraq invasion. The United States is reinforcing its positions in the area to defend not only its own interests, but also those of its closest allies.
If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with the latest news. See you in the next video.